Hi everyone, so today we're taking a look at the Corsair Flash Voyager Go. Now you can see this thing is incredibly small. Let me just pop my finger next to it as well so you can kind of really get a sense for it if you're not from the UK and you don't have an idea of what the UK 1 penny piece looks like. Now, big thank you to Corsair for sending us this out. This is a particularly interesting product, which is why I jumped at the chance to have a look at it. Now, the whole idea behind the Voyager Go is to kind of give you flexibility in your external storage. So, as I'm going to show you in a minute, this is a quite unique device. I've not seen a flash drive quite like this before. Now, the idea is quite simple. On one side, we have a full-size USB plug. On the other side, we have a micro USB plug. Can you see where this is going yet? Let me show you. Okay, so it's really simple. On this one end of the device, we've got a normal USB plug. And all I have to do is plug it into a USB port on my PC as normal. Really simple. I get a drive letter, I can drag all of my content straight onto it. This is just like a normal USB drive that you've used 100 or thousands of times before. Nothing to see here that's particularly unique. Now, this is where things get more interesting. You can really get a sense for the size of the Corsair Voyager Go when you pop it next to the HTC One M8. It's a tiny little pen drive, fantastic for portability. Now, just a quick note. The way that this kind of works is we now have our micro USB plug here, and we can really easily just, well, plug it straight in to the bottom of our smartphone, and now we can access all of the content on that flash drive on our smartphone, tablet, or, well, any other device that uses the USB host controller and has microSD support built in. Now that brings me on to the one area you just need to be aware of. Because this uses the USB host controller, not all Android devices out of the box will be able to use this. Any of the devices from the big main manufacturers, your HTCs, your Samsungs, your LGs, Sony, etc. should be absolutely fine. But if you're a Nexus owner, so if you're using one of Google's Nexus devices, they generally have that host controller kind of locked down. You can't mount external storage onto them. And that's partly because of the way Google kind of views itself and it wants everything in the cloud, etc. Now, if you're one of those unlucky folks who, when they plug in a device like this, doesn't get told, oh, you've plugged in a USB memory storage and you can access a drive letter, etc., then what you're going to need to do is root your device first and install a piece of software called Folder Mount. If you have a look on our channel, I've run through Folder Mount previously. Really easy to use. You just need to make sure you're rooted. But for our intents and purposes here, we've got this plugged into the HTC One M8. Now, the only thing you'll need to do to make sure you can access everything on the flash drive properly is install yourself a file manager. Now, I like Astro File Manager. It does a fantastic job, and then all you do, you come into here, you go to USB, and you can access all of your content on the memory stick. Really simple. And one of the things that kind of struck me about the Voyager Go is how simple it is to use. You really just plug it in on a USB port to load your content from your PC, plug it in on the micro USB on your smartphone or tablet, and work with your content. We were actually able to stream information, video files, directly from the Voyager Go to Chromecast. And it worked flawlessly. No lag, no delay, no stutters, no problems. It just worked. And that's the one thing I think we can really say about the Voyager Go. It just works. And it's quite rare we see a product these days which is, you know, pretty flawless actually. The only thing that I will say as a, not necessarily a downside, but an area to kind of be aware of with this particular product is it's incredibly small. As I've shown you already, it is a teeny little device, but it's storing 64 gig of, well, flash memory in there. 64 gig of data on this little tiny device. They do them in different sizes as well. This is the 64, but one thing just to bear in mind is it is incredibly tiny, and ultimately the smaller something is, the easier it is to lose. So just bear in mind that you do have a little attachment cable there that you can use to, you know, pop it onto your smartphone case, for instance, onto your keyring, just to keep it nice and safe. Now you do actually get another top with it as well, with a yellow lid on there, but I quite like the black one, to be fair. The yellow one obviously just makes it a little bit easier to find. But like I say, it is a very small device. Do bear in mind that it could be potentially easy to lose, but the flexibility you gain is absolutely remarkable. So much storage in such a little device, and it works across a range of devices without you having to mess around too much. Like I say, just bear in mind, if you happen to have a Nexus device, you may need to root and use folder mount first. If you're with any of the main manufacturers, buy with confidence. It's likely it's just going to work and work beautifully for you. We hope you enjoyed this video. Do please remember to like and comment, and if you'd like to, please subscribe. You can also visit our website and download our Android app. If you do subscribe, you'll be getting a daily dose of the latest tech news, hardware reviews, Android games, consoles, and basically an honest opinion direct from the UK. Stay tuned, stay Androidizen.